What's up guys, it's TyranitarTube, and believe it or not, Riddler Khu is back. The sucker's the funniest man alive. Man says he won't post information anymore, we host the whole funeral for him, and the man rises. Pokemon must have been cracking down on leakers, and there's even a third leaker now. Kind of. So we got Khu and we got Kaka, but before the latest trailer came out, some anonymous person posted on 4chan the leaks of the trailer. So of course there's a couple things Kaka got wrong, or when people interpreted his broken tweets that they got wrong. Murkrow doesn't evolve, the gimmick has nothing to do with we thought the gimmick just gave you the benefits of a typing. We know now that the gimmick is like Protean. That's the gimmick. The gimmick in this game is Protean, except any Pokemon can use it, but it's a little better than Protean because you get a little extra boost. And then another thing Kaka leaked is Wooper's regional variant. Now we know it's Poison Ground, and now we just have to wait to see what Quagsire alternative it becomes. I've seen some fan art of him just getting big legs. Now we go through Khu's tweets. Now Khu, obviously it's been like 2 weeks. Can you imagine that? It felt like yesterday, but it's been a full 2 weeks since Khu disappeared. So he returned a bit earlier. On July 25th, Khu tweeted this symbol, which says Takumi, and this broke the world. Naturally, I said, I'm shaking, my wife's name is Takumi. And then wait a bit and he posts a couple more tweets in Chinese. One of his tweets is this: all beings are equal and everyone can cultivate to becoming a living Buddha in this world. Now, I don't really pay attention to the stuff he was talking about. When I first read this, it reminded me of a Chinese concept of the 3 pure men, I think what it's called. It's these 3. But yeah, he makes a couple of these. We really shouldn't care about them. And then he tweets this. Oh, this one I know because I'm studying chemics. Here's something. Copper 2 sulfate, written as CuSO4. It is the most important salt of copper. One path is the salt Pokemon Kaka talked about. The other idea is maybe this is Khu just teasing the gimmick, that it has some crystal gem property to it. On July 31st, Khu then tweets Datio, which I think is him messily saying Dacho, which would be ostrich in Japan. We know from Kaka as well, there's an ostrich Pokemon. Great. I don't think you're getting off the hook easily, bro. I'm off the hook. I already solved it. An hour later, he quotes his Datio tweet and puts Beauty Guru. So maybe this is just a beautiful ass ostrich. Beauty Guru ostrich, fairy flying, fairy fighting. Now, based off some of the stuff Kaka said, it sounded like the ostrich, when you looked at it, might have a Cleopatra look, which I assume is something like this. So maybe that's what he's talking about. The next day, August 1st, Khu tweets Mizudori. Think you should see this, brother. See what, man? There's absolutely nothing to see here. Mizudori is one way to call a waterfowl in Japanese. So maybe Khu is telling us there is a waterfowl Pokemon. Flamingos are not waterfowl. A few hours later, he quotes his tweet and says, Denki and chips. Now, Denki is electricity in Japan, and chips is... The best answer we have is comparing it to fish and chips, where the Denki takes the place of the fish. So we got Denki and chips. Even though the chips is supposed to mean fries, electric fish. Anyhow, the next day on August 2nd, Khu tweets, Titan battle is fun and exciting with lots of uncertainty. Hope you enjoy it. So Khu's been harsh on games before, so it's nice that he calls Titan exciting. This gimmick is gonna be wild in the meta. Maybe he sees that it works. By the way the gimmick works, here's just the visual. It was made by Central, but it clears it up pretty well. So you'll have an electric steel Magnemite. If your Tera type is normal and you use the gimmick, you Protean into a pure normal type, and you get added normal damage. And here's one if Magnemite has an electric Tera typing, and this time it gets a double electric boost. That's the gimmick. You're gonna see crazy combinations like people giving Tyranitar a ghost Tera and strategically finding the perfect moment that a fighting type is coming to turn ghost. But it's weird, man. Someone has to explain whether we still get stabbed on our previous typings. I think we don't. So they've taken the ability Protean and made it the whole gimmick of a generation. And now in hindsight, it's a pretty good idea. Half a day later, he tweets, grass or rock, normal or bug, or any, or puppy and honey, we are close now. We had our greatest investigators take a look at this tweet, aka me. So grass and rock were the typings he put for Sudowoodo when he said guess its type, and normal and bug was the Teddy Ursa one. Puppy and honey were the 4th options for those 2. We are close now. In some way this tweet relates to those 2. Initially when he tweeted those teasers, I thought that they would have regional fakes in this game. I thought that's what he was teasing, but later he seemed to make it sound like only Gen 1 Pokemon get regional fakes and that there's only a few at most in this game. So it starts to seem like Terastal and Sudowoodo don't have regional fakes, which only makes it mysterious, because then what does he mean by this? I would dig if there was a fake Terastal and Sudowoodo. Maybe the Terastal not as much, because what is Terastal? It's not like Terastal has a specific behavior that when you spot, you instantly call it a Terastal, like Diglett. Sudowoodo at least is this Pokemon that stays frozen. Hey yo, maybe the Sunflora, maybe that Sunflora from the trailer has Sudowoodo-like behavior, and it's just a grass type. Anyhow, a few hours later, he tweets this photo of a Grandpa Whalemore with the caption coughing. Whalemore's a whale. That's probably why Khu made this. It looks nothing like Satitan. Like, why did you make him a grandpa? He even retweets of it saying ancient whale. That's crazy. Whales used to have arms and legs. Imagine a Wailord regional variant where it can walk on land. Even if it's small limbs. God, it'd be a movable hotel. Wailord Hotel. And then that takes us to halftime show, because ask yourself, are you fed up with these riddles? Do you want the answer key? Because Khu will give us the answer key. After the trailer came out on August 3rd, Khu decided to start telling us the answers, starting with the very beginning, when back in March, he posted the Chinese symbol for 3. We've come a far way since that tweet. This was analyzed a lot, and it was only a joke that maybe there'd be a 3rd type gimmick. Then in late April, over a month later, Khu finishes that riddle with these set of Chinese letters that when solved gave us the letter for type, which sealed it to us. The gimmick in this game, the hints are 3 type. Khu gives us the answer. Back in March, our first riddle of Titan went with 3rd type in Chinese. He said here that the riddle being 3 and type was to trick people into thinking that we would get a 3rd type, when really it's us turning into a 3rd type. Everyone fell for it. No one thought they would take the ability Protean and make it the gimmick. Khu tweets this photo of the dog. Remember when Khu tweeted this on April 1st? If this were not Central, then who would it be? Oh, I talk too much. Shh, wink. Who was he talking about? Well, Khu says here that he was talking about the spotlight Pokemon of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet that move with wheels and limbs. It's Koraidon and Miraidon. Yeah, Central? I mean, what? Yeah, Khu? Bro, the wheels are at least helping that dog. Those wheels ain't helping Koraidon. I've heard this idea that Koraidon's wheels aren't wheels, but floating devices. So when Koraidon jumps in the water, he just paddles around. And I think that's actually the case. They designed a Pokemon with wheels to secretly actually function as life jackets. Remember this tweet Khu posted on April 30th, on the month of RFs, which mean both regional fakes and forms. It was this jumble of numbers and letters that we solved correctly. We turned this pile into a color and got blue out of it, then turned these into a pile and got brown out of it. The exact colors, down to the code, that represent water and ground. Here's the answer here. He was saying a water ground type gets a regional form, and it was Wooper. Then we get to the maddest one of them all. Remember this tweet of the Steins Gate guy, Spirited Away text, and he's holding the butterfly effect item? The answer to this riddle is that it's called Upa. It has nothing to do with all the time stuff. Apparently, he colored the steel Upa to look like the common ones so that we wouldn't misinterpret the Wooper being steel. Khu, how could you do this? Khu just did random things in his riddle. Look, there's so many Upas. Here we go. I don't know, you could have made some nasty brown Upa, and then we would have realized. The ball's on this man to toss time riddles at us and the answer actually be Wooper. He tells us that this book he posted back in June is talking about Wooper's new evolution, the Land King. Remember June 30th? A whole month ago he tweeted PDY. He said, "You'll know what I mean if I say the vowels." Well, let's see what he says here. Okay. Now, where is the Y in English? Where's the Y in Japanese? Where's the Y in Chinese? You should have done PLD to hint Paldea. No wonder man said stuff like Podoyo. We had to make use of the Y. Answers, guys. You never thought you'd see the day. Remember, Khu tweeted this on May 31st. Would look good if it were white. He tells us Lechonk's Evo, and yeah, the shiny is white. So that leaked screenshot might really be Lechonk. Next tweet. On June 18, Khu posts this picture of the pastry dog. Good lord, the amount of theories that came out of this. It turns out it's just Fidough. It's a bread and dog. The slicing is a trick. But this riddle was actually attached to another one. This one, where there's 4 keys written, 108 like the Spiritomb Wisps, cell like a prison or like Zygarde cells, Gen 6 and then P. Khu says that these riddles were about Fidough and its evolution, so maybe this one is its evolution. He says it gets more delicious when it evolves, and actually is toasted. LOL kidding. Now listen here, if you put P and you have all this gold, maybe he gets buttered. Maybe that's what the P is about. That gold crisp toast? Maybe he's a toasted buttery boy. Next tweet, here's a riddle from May where Khu says, bonus 2. They may look different on box because both of them have Chinese letters. You've seen one of them. When he tweeted this back in May, we turned the letters into 5 forms, something like that. And now Khu clarifies, against what Kaka said, that the 5 forms is a normal form, which I don't know if we've seen. But we have drive, swim, glide, and battle form. So the battle form is what we see on the boxes, and probably in battle. What is the normal form? Maybe the normal form is their puppy form. They're not puppies, but they just look like them. He even quotes the picture of the Whalmer and confirms it was about Cetitan. He says, you will understand why we mentioned Whalmer when you see Cetitan's decks. That will make this one a perfect hint, lol. Now, I don't know if Pokemon will do this, but what if in their decks, for once, they talk about it being distantly connected to another Pokemon? What if they say Cetitan in ancient times was the same species as Whalmer? I think that'd be cool. He says, by the way, its pre-evolution is cute, which at least confirms a bit of excitement for Cetitan. Even if he's like Duraludon and Darudagon, he at least has a pre-evolution. Other stuff, remember this photo of the Magnemite example? Khu talks about the gimmick. So he says, yeah, that's how the gimmick works. But if it turns into a former stab type, the stab goes from 1.5 to 2. Imagine Tera Water Kyogre, kill me now. So essentially, even though you have the option of becoming a different typing, you gain the most power by being the same typing. So it makes 2 ways to play the game. You can do the sneaky T-Tar strat where you turn ghost and try to trick opponents, or you can just hit them hard. You can make your Magnezone turn electric and do double the damage with its electric moves. Imagine a Pokemon with adaptability that already doubles their stab, terastalizing, and that going to like ×3. Who gets adaptability? Crawdont, Porygon. Imagine a normal type Porygon Z gets 3x on its normal moves. That's insane. Someone along the lines, it might have been Khu, they mentioned that the normal type is overpowered in this game. So there's a couple ideas going around on the gimmick and whether Pokemon have access to all 18 Tera types. Khu confirms all Pokemon, ones that are caught, distributed, and transferred from other games, can have all 18 Tera types. So it's not like you see a T-Tar and you're used to the 5 or 6 that they can be caught with. They can have all 18. And Khu says that you can adjust the typing with items. I suppose if you're using an Arcanine for like half the game and its Tera type was rock, you would get tired of it fast. So it probably would be more fun if you could change that Tera type. It'd be like Z crystals, you'd be changing it all the time. And so far, it's just a rumor from Kaka, I think, but they say that you don't have to hold an item, which is insane for the metagame. With Z crystals and Megastones, you had to hold the item because it made you so overpowered. Like Tyranitar, when he Mega Evolves, he's stronger than like Kyogre and Groudon. So they nerfed Megas by making it so you have to hold the item. Next tweet. So, here's the question. Are there some useless Tera types? For example, in the trailer, they show us Raid fighting a Gardevoir that is a water type right now. So all of our buddies transform into grass and we're spamming our moves. You know, you can tell the flowers are on our heads, the sprinkler on her head. What some people pointed out is that Gardevoir does not learn water moves. Aside from Rain Dance, there is not a single water move that Gardevoir can learn. So is that Gardevoir useless? It's not like your abilities are gonna change. Same case for Arcanine. If I work so hard catching a water Tera Arcanine, I'm not even gonna have water moves to use. Well, Khu says something. Don't worry about the move pool. You can learn a new universal move that debuts in Scarlet and Violet to solve the problem of lacking stab moves when using Tera. Well, it sounds like he's just describing Hidden Power. Maybe there's a move that draws on your Tera typing power, which would be kind of crazy. But even better, a move you can use even without Tera transforming. The name of this gimmick is crazy. Essentially, it would just be Hidden Power again. But imagine Arcanine could learn this universal move and it just has a water move now. Hidden Power, they weakened it to 60 damage. Maybe it'll be a 60 damage move. That might be the case. I wonder what that move would be called. Ew, it's probably like Tera Power. Why are you saying ill, man? Next tweet. So back in July, Khu tweeted some funny text about Uncle was also forced to turn in, and this image of a dolphin. We took it as a hint that there's a dolphin Pokemon in this game, something Kaka also talked about. Khu is saying that there's a surprise to this photo. The big surprise is when this Pokemon evolves, it doesn't evolve. If you could get what I mean, you will know what surprise this line has. So he's saying when this dolphin evolves, it's like it doesn't. There's a couple examples that come to mind, like Shedinja. The man just dies, it counts as an evolution. Or something like Scizor, where Scizor doesn't have better stats than Scyther, it just has the coat now. Scizor is literally like a form change of Scyther. When it evolves, it doesn't evolve. Does anyone want to crack what that means? When it evolves, it doesn't evolve could only really have one honest interpretation in my opinion. He's saying that if it's like Wishiwashi or Zygarde, that doesn't count as evolving. If it's like Scyther or Porygon, it's straight up evolving, no buts. Okay, it is evolving, but that would work to his riddle. Because Porygon, when it evolves, it just gets smoother because of the better graphics. And Scyther, like I said, it has the same base stats. So look, Scyther, 500 BST. Scizor, still 500. Even Cleaver, he's still 500. Scyther's a hell of a Pokemon. When a Pokemon evolves, it doesn't really go through evolution. It's more of a magical metamorphosis. There's cases where a more real evolution takes place, like regional forms. So either it means it evolves like a Pokemon while not evolving like real animals. It's obviously not that Bro, I don't know where this guy went. Well, I think our best guess is something like Scyther or Porygon. Or like Diglett to Thug Trio, where it's just combining with others. Even if it's evolution, was it like shedding its skin and turning into something else? That's still an evolution. When it evolves, it doesn't evolve. Hey, I don't trust Khu, man. Okay, send me a reminder for 2 weeks. When this is solved, it ain't gonna make no sense. So back in July, when Kaka started tweeting the picture of the Jigglypuff and Amoonguss, at first we thought they were regional fakes, then slowly we started to realize they are the past and future Pokemon. Around that time, Khu tweeted, "Its avatar," referring to these two, "is the new concept thing I wanted to tease in September." His wording was a bit confusing because avatar sounds like a form connected to you. But he says the new concept is the Paradoxmon that I think everyone has known. That's the name going around, that the past and future Pokemon are called Paradox Pokemon. Quoting his recent tweet of Grass or Rock, Normal or Bug, or Any or Puppy and Honey, we are close now, which is of course talking about his 2 polls. He says Terastal was revealed yesterday. The answers to the polls are both Any, but still Grass and Bug would make more sense when you play the game. So the first option is the Pokemon's actual type. The second is a weird type he's chosen, then Any, and then some kind of hint. In terms of the weird option, he says that the second option still makes the most sense when you play the game. How could Grass make the most sense when asking what this Pokemon's type is? I don't want to spoil other parts, so find the answer by yourselves in November. Maybe it has to do with the gimmick and not about regional fakes or paradox Pokemon. Maybe for Teddiursas, if they are a bug Tera type, you unlock a special form for it. And if Sudowoodos are grass, you unlock a special form. It can make a little sense. If there is a reason for certain Pokemon to trigger a form change when they do the gimmick, Sudowoodo finally getting actual plants might be enough to trigger that. That's pretty much all of them. Then we get to a cool riddle. So regional fake, so far we know of 2. The one that looks like Diglett and the one that's a Gen 1 Pokemon that crawls from the sea to the land. Our best guess for that is Lapras. Well, Khu's given us a hint. Guess that regional fake among these 4 candidates. And stop using that inappropriate professional terminology, aka convergent evolution. And don't look at me, bro. Convergent makes sense, but he's probably saying not to call it that because it's such an extreme example. No creature is gonna evolve so much to be like another one. The only reason it's happened is as a joke. It's more like the company memeing on Diglett by making another Pokemon that's like Diglett. But look, he gave us 4 candidates for the other one. A Gen 1 Pokemon that crawls from the sea to the land. Tentacool? Nah, you ain't crawling. A lot of people think it's Tentacool and it'd be some Man-O-War jellyfish. We got Seal, who he can crawl too, but what would he be on the land? We got Krabby, which went into my mind initially, and then Lapras. Now, I said this in an earlier video, but whatever the R-faked Pokemon is, it would have to have a character that stands out, or else the whole imposter thing doesn't really work out. Is Krabby the only crab in the world? But I guess any of them could work. You could have a Pokemon on the land that literally looks like Tentacool. has those big jellyfish eyes and is instead like walking on its 2 tentacles. And apparently it's not even a jellyfish. It could work as an R fake. The seal as well, though, I don't know, where would you find him? He'd be like a performing seal lookalike in the forest or something. Krabby, hey, don't be Krabby. If you make some weird dog Pokemon that walks sideways and is pretending to be a crab, and then Lapras is my favorite. You could have this Pokemon that on the land has taken Lapras's characteristics. It has that thing on its back. Maybe it's in swampy areas, so people ride the Pokemon to get past the swamps or the quicksand areas. Maybe they bathe in the deserts. Lapras has to be the best one here. I don't want to see a walking jellyfish. It's Lapras. So here's a picture of a random dog trio, and because it's technically 3 Digletts, seeing visuals like this makes the gimmick make more sense. Whatever caused the gimmick in this region, the Pokemon are just able to play with types because of it. And it's grown on to me very well. Next tweet, oh lord. Back in July, Khu tweeted Titan R. Black and white, X and Y, sword and shield. Female, female, male. We took it as him talking about the rivals, that it's a girl, girl, and boy, and similar to our rivals in those games. Well, he tells us that these are our rivals. Nemona is a goddess, Penny is a badass, and Arven is a manny. Enjoy your rivals. I don't know what that means. The games, maybe they mean they're rivals with similar personalities, but here's something cool in this game. Remember there's 3 paths to beating the game? I'll probably have to make a proper video on this later, but it seems like those 3 paths were hinted in the previous trailer when they showed the split screen of the towers, of the gym battleground, and then the flags. And then they showed us flaws in all 3 of our rival characters. Penny is shy, Nemona can't throw balls, and he sucks at battling. It's like he's gonna help you with whatever the treasure hunt thing is, and that's gonna be a part of the story just as important as doing the gym battles. She's gonna have something related to the racing maybe, or whatever the flags is about, and Nemona's gonna be your classic Pokemon rival. But this would just open the floodgates to Pokemon. It would no longer be just about battling the gym leaders. They could get used to introducing a full explorative side in Pokemon with just his treasure hunt side. Bro, if this is done well, this game could completely open the doors. Next tweet. This one is suspicious. He tweets, thinking face. And he posts a picture of Arven and connecting his eyes to Sada and Toro. What does this mean? I didn't even suspect Arven. Now that you mention it, this man has Professor Sada's eyes. And the hair color is hard to tell, but Khu is pointing out his eyebrows and darker hair as like Toro's. What does this mean? It's a baby across time? I mean, the way we know it, Sada and Toro don't appear in the other version, so I don't think both exist. And we don't even know if Sada and Toro are time travelers. We just mess around. But if they are, what if this kid came too? Now hold up, this doesn't make sense. You can't be a kid from the past or a kid from the future. You can't be her son or his son and be the same character, unless in a weird way, all 3 of them are related. Like she's from the ancient past, she's the ancestor to him, and she's the descendant of him. Oh, stop. Yo, that might be the case. Bro, if we have Paradox Pokemon, tell me these mans are time travelers. It has to be. And you know how insane that makes Arven? This random dude who sucks at battling is the missing link. Obviously, we don't know. But that was a mad suspicious tweet. The Lake House. This was the movie where they communicate through the mailbox, different times. Khu did say there's something similar to that. So the sun is the mailbox. What does that even mean? None of them want to take care of the sun. They're sending him back in time. Go play with your mom. Okay, next tweet. You see, listen, you see how much more exciting this is? Next tweet. We should freaking end with this. In fact, let me say one thing. Remember that Kaka said Primeape has an evolution in this game? Based on what Kaka is saying, Primeape evolves into a fighting ghost type. And you guys pointed this out to me. If you look at Primeape's Pokedex entries, some of them say, like the one from Sun and Moon, that Primeape can sometimes get so mad that it evolves. So that's what triggers its evolution. That's why Kaka said somewhere along the lines that the way it evolves is interesting. So in some way, you gotta get this Primeape so mad it dies. And we get a fighting ghost type Pokemon. Only other one who has that typing is Marshadow. Okay, so I talked about that quick ghost because of his next tweet here. He posts a picture of my arch nemesis, the truck in the trailer. I thought I was such a goof for looking at this Pokemon suspiciously. it has the markings of the flags. It just looks like some kind of bus that you take to fast travel to places. Like, it's obviously branded. It's not a ghost bus. But then Khu says, say yo to our new Poison and Steel boy. It's a freaking Pokemon. This is a freaking Pokemon driving around the area. And he's not even a ghost type. This is a truck that probably is the engine Pokemon. Now, I've done some research. What this truck seems to be is based off the Decatora or Atotoraku art trucks. They are these decorated trucks in Japan, commonly displaying neon or ultraviolet light with extravagant paints. This is probably what this man is, and it terrifies me more and more. This light up bus could very well see you in the distance and start pulling up. I don't want to know sentient trucks exist, but that's what he is. Maybe it doubles up. Maybe it's still used by the evil team as an actual car, but it's a Pokemon. Y'all doubted me? I didn't even know. How did this Pokemon come to be? Is it an actual bus they decorated that took off? Because he's not a ghost. I never seen this before. That's like if Honedge wasn't a ghost. I mean, we have some examples like Magnemite and Voltorb. They're not ghosts. I guess this man just took it to the next level. He's still branded with legitimate things from the region. So either he put them there himself, which is just even more creepier. He's just trying to blend in, or someone decorated it. That being said, maybe it's a rare Pokemon that there's like 1 or 2 in different areas and they have different forms, different decorations on them. Maybe there's one with a bright neon blue theme and then a green theme. Anyhow, a couple other things Khu shows, not gonna lie, they do look like puppies. I told you, legendary Pokemon reduced to fetching like random rocks in the ocean. And then there's also this picture here that Khu posted. Good lord, Khu spilled the letter soup. No one knows what this is. It could be Khu talking about the 3 stories in this game. The letters C, Y, and D seem to be repeated the most. This is the big city in the center, Mesagoza. At the least, it seems like he's telling us important locations. A lot of these are towns, but when you see locations listed like this, it makes the region look pretty big. Hey yo, why don't you point this island out? We better be able to go to this island, eh? You better be able to go to this island. Yo, this is crazy. There's like all this broken land around. How crazy would it be if this whole region is in like a hurricane? Alright, I'm gonna call it quits here, guys. Go on and shank that like button, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.
Bitch, I'm the man. Give me my spot on that throne. They didn't want me to grow. They didn't know. I would make all of them go. I did it all on my own. Man, what was you? When I was trapped in my zone. Never had nothing to own. Now it's all good. All of that frontin' is gone. I'm out here stunning for show.